joining us today. I think it's been a tradition on the Churches of Christ worldwide. We keep on learning, we keep on coming out with ideas that will induce people to be able to also make research. I think there are some controversial issues, people claiming the Bible not for God, and other people claiming that it was some group of people that they grouped and then they brought in the Bible to deceive black people. And today I am having our own brother. I think he has been with us for about 2 or 3 years now on the Churches of Christ worldwide. And his name is Steven Boachie, a Christian apologist, a debater. I think he has been debating Muslims, and today he's here to share his view on the Bible, if it is from God or not. Anthony, today we're not going to waste much time. Yes, and first he would like to give us a short introduction, because as it is, we keep on introducing ourselves. My name is Peter POLLEY, as the name is on the screen. And brother, nice to meet you, and thanks for coming. God richly bless you. Please, can you give a short introduction about yourself?
Nice to meet you too, bro. Brother Steven, and just as you described, Christian apologist, I'm a preacher in the Lord's Church of Christ as well. I'm a debater and a writer as well. So I've been on this platform many times, and today too is going to be blossoming. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, bro. I think we need you to start the ball rolling. Is the Bible from God or it's not from God? Because recently I've been sharing my thought on that, and in fact, we need you to also share your view on that. So please, is the Bible from God, or it's a group of men that start somewhere and wrote a book to deceive, especially blacks, as some other people do say, especially the common sense family people? Thank you very much.
Right. So thank you, brother, for the platform. And I will say hi to all our addressees. Yes, the Bible is the word of God. Being a Christian and also an apologist, yes, that is, I'll answer it on the affirmative. The Bible is the word of God, and everything actually proved it. Actually, speaking cosmologically, archaeologically, geologically, the Bible, let me say scientifically, let me put it that way, scientifically, the Bible is the word of God, and several many things has transpired, and uh, these are what actually makes it orchestrate in our minds that indeed it is from God. Well, I'm going to give some salient points, and this has to do with scientific accuracy. Okay, cosmological precision. This is a cosmological precision. When you read Genesis chapter 1, verse number 1 of the Bible, it describes the universe's beginning, and it aligns with modern scientific discoveries. That is the Big Bang theory. I know whenever you hear of theory, it's something, what I'm saying, it's an explanation given to staffs, though they are 50-50. Okay, people would want us to believe that the Big Bang actually marked the origin of the universe, but we know that when we read the Bible says God said, God commanded for things to happen, and surely they happen. Therefore, if people tell us that our universe is a result of some pure natural processes, it's a lie, but rather it came as a result of some supernatural power. Well, Genesis chapter 1, verse number 1, I've always been stipulating, and any physics student actually knows that this is exactly what makes the Bible authentic, because there are some five scientific elements of truth, and I mentioned it in our earlier programs. That is, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In the beginning, talking about time, God, that is the cause, and created, that is motion, the heavens, that is space, and the earth, that is matter. So matter was created. Matter is an eternal. Therefore, the Bible actually gives us this kind of clue, and it makes sense. If you go to Psalm 104, verse number 2, Psalm 104, verse number 2 describes the universe's expansion, echoing modern scientific understanding. You get that? So this really tells us that indeed the Bible is true, and modern scientists are now discovering stuff the Bible actually stipulated. And I've ever mentioned Matthew Murray. Okay, Matthew Murray was a soldier, and he was bedridden, and later on implored his son to read Psalm 8, verse 8, and he noted where it read, and the paths of the sea, and he told him, actually he said he was going to take God his word. Therefore, he took God at his word, and surely he explored and he ascertained that indeed there are paths within the sea. So he was deemed the father of oceanography. And if you go to the universities around the world, they actually studied the book of Martin Murray. See, he was the father of oceanography, and he discovered this as a result of the Bible. So without the Bible, hadn't been able to discover anything like that. So he died with his Bible leaning on his chair. This really means that he believed that the Bible was authentic. He said, yes, the Bible is from God, because had it not been from God, I wouldn't discover anything like this. And no human being ever would know that indeed there were paths within the sea. And prior to this time, there had been just the discovery of ocean currents. So all this affirms the biblical accuracy. And I've ever mentioned that of 225 BC, during the time of Ptolemy the second, that was the son of Ptolemy, who was one of the generals of Alexander the Great. Okay, in Egypt, when Ptolemy had wanted to make some, what is it? He had wanted to clear or make some corrections in the libraries and all that. He actually implored the Jews to call out their scholars to translate their Hebrew Bible into Greek. Because that was the coin, the Greek, and that's exactly what came about the Septuagint. That is the 70s men. And surely they came on board and they were scattered and they were given watches because Ptolemy thought they would pay chance. Therefore, when he did this, they were able to come out with everything intact, verse by verse, comma by comma, topic by topic, and everything. You see, so the pagans actually discovered that indeed the Bible was genuine and it was from God. So all this actually tells us that the Bible isn't just one of the books, but rather it is the book. Okay, so and I'm going to give also some geological accuracies. Okay, geological accuracies. Genesis 6 up to 9 describes the flood. Okay, the flood of Noah, which aligns with geological findings, that is fossil records and sedimentary layers. Actually, I'm not going to say much about the fossil records, talking of the Paleozoic era, the Mesozoic, and the Cenozoic, and all that. Okay, scientists have been discovering stuff, archaeologists have been discovering stuff. They've been digging the oldest, and they've discovered stuff that actually affirm that indeed the Bible never lied. Whatever record we have in the Bible actually are true. Well, so the biblical account of creation aligns with geological processes, formation of mountains and rivers. Okay, all these found within Genesis chapter 6 up to 9, and all these actually prove that the Bible is authentic. Okay, so Bible itself, what is it, based on higher criticism and also lower criticism, we ascertain that indeed it is accurate and it is inspired word of God. Had it been from any mere man, those discoveries wouldn't have been attained. Well, so and also medical accuracy. Medical accuracy. I know that was 2019. Okay, 2019, I was on campus, and surely we heard of coronavirus. Coronavirus actually militated against several lot of souls. You get it? So many people are underground because of coronavirus. So you see, there were some protocols introduced into the system, and even yes, protocols like you should cover your nose with a nose mask, and you have to wash your hand thoroughly before to eat or before to don't apply your hand dirty in your face or something like those stuffs. You see, those protocols actually were already in the Bible and it was discovered by scientists. Okay, later. This is it. Leviticus 15, verse number 13 describes hygiene practices. Okay, so quarantine washing that predated modern understanding. Biblical accounts of diseases and treatment align with modern medical knowledge together. So if perhaps you know of borrelia ulcer, those are the killer diseases that actually militates against man, those protocols that are introduced to prevent them were actually already stipulated in the Bible. So scientists or modern, what is it? Modern scientists discovered them through reading the Bible. Okay, so all this makes the Bible accurate, and its informations are very accurate, and they align with our lives. It's authentic at all times for all people. And also archaeological confirmations has also been given. Jericho's existence and walls. Okay, uh, excavations confirmed the city's existence and walls, matching Joshua 6 together. So scientists have been putting towards that Jericho, the history about or the history, biblical record in regards to Jericho was a lie, but excavations has confirmed that indeed the city existed as is described in Joshua 6. So its dating of pottery and artifacts aligns with biblical timeline. Also, the Hittite Empire, all these has been discovered. So when we say the Bible is inspired and it's authentic, it's accurate, it's genuine, and all that, talking of its genuineness and its accuracy, the person that is it's written or its authorship is ascribed to is actually real. What we get with me, and that's exactly what we mean by genuinity and also accuracy. Whatever we come across within the Bible are actually accurate, and these biblical characters mentioned, or these biblical places, or these cities mentioned, when discovered more in a modern time, we get to know that indeed the Bible didn't lie, and the genius behind the write-up is actually not a man, but rather a supernatural being. So, talking of Hittite, the Hittite Empire, when reading the Bible, we come across the Hittite Empire, most especially in 2 Kings 7, verse number 6. Okay, so once it was once deemed mythical. Okay, the Hittite Empire was once deemed mythical. Hittite inscriptions and artifacts confirmed their existence. Biblical references to Hittites, that is 2 Kings 7, verse number 6, it's validated. All these proves to us that indeed the Bible wasn't written by any anonymous person. So I think several other people, like Herman and Co, has been stipulating that the Bible was written by some anonymous person just to deceive Africans and all that. You get that. So you will get the whites telling you that they were not the genius, so it's behind the writer of the Bible, and the blacks are also saying they are not the one. Therefore, the actual originator of the Bible is God. Hope you get to me. So everything actually proves. Everything actually proves. Even if you read the whole book of Job, you get to come across stuff that actually only that can only be put by a deity and not be a man. Okay, so the Hittite Empire has been being validated. So, what of King David's dynasty? King David's dynasty. Okay, so the Talmud inscription confirmed David's dynasty, supporting 1 Samuel 16. Together, so archaeological evidence supports biblical accounts of David's reign. Okay, so David was actual person, a real person who lived in Jerusalem. Okay, and surely archaeology has affirmed that indeed all these inscriptions they came across and tell them affirms that indeed yes, the man lived and his dynasty really existed. Together, talking of dynasty, I hope we know we can cite the Asante Kingdom as an example. It's a dynasty. You see, it belongs to some particular family, and that's exactly what I mean. And also, Pompeii and what is it, Herculaneum, Pompeii and Herculaneum. Excavations confirmed Roman cities and practices in line with Acts 28, verse number 13 and 14. Okay, due to time, I'm actually wrapping up, giving salient points. If addresses would want to get my lesson, we can forward them to them. You can hit up Brother POLLEY and he will give it to you, or you can hit me up and I'll give it to you. So inscriptions and artifacts validate biblical accounts of Roman culture, and also philosophical and logical coherences affirm that indeed the Bible is authentic and it's genuine or it's inspired. Moral absolutism, the biblical moral framework aligns with universal human values that are justice and compassion. Moral principles transcend cultural and historical context. You see that? So the Bible actually, I think, once I had a program on this platform and I said that there must be an objective moral standard. You get an objective moral standard. Yes, we human beings actually love to retaliate and those stuff get to me. So we sociologically speaking, what is it? Uh, we live in accordance with our egos. How we get to in accordance with our egos. But morality actually tells us that we need not to live based on how we were born. How we get to be made. We need not to go by our temperament and all that. We need to attain some super ego, and that super ego controls our ego. That is moralism or morality. How we get to be made. So be limited beings. He must be an unlimited being. That is why there must be a supernatural being. All that the Bible tells us all this, and it does make sense. Therefore, we know for sure the Bible is from God and it's authentic. Well, let me top it up with this little information. So I ended up, and I think you were, Brother Peter, you were also saying that are we going to give some little proofs in regards to affirming God's existence? Is that clear? Is that so?
Yeah, yeah,
All right. So I'm actually going to add topping it up with this little information. Then I jump up to that. Okay, so we most of the times make this cosmological argument. Or we get to it, and the Bible helps us a lot to deal with that. Okay, cosmology, cosmos has to do with the earth. Studies in regards to the earth. Universe's beginning implies a creator. Okay, creation, the universe's beginning implies a creator. Genesis chapter 1, verse number 1. Okay, Genesis 1, verse number 1 tells us of the beginning of the beginner of the beginning. You get that the uncreated the uncaused cause of all creation. You see, so studying the Bible with an open mind and a critical eye, you get to know that yes, indeed, it is logically speaking, and whatever it tells you, yes, you must take them into consideration. Surely they're going to help your life, and they're actually going to let you know why you are here on earth. That's the reason we have the Bible. So people has been calling the Bible the manual of human life or the human manual. And that's I accept. I accept. So cosmological argument, this is a universe's beginning implies creator. That is Genesis chapter 1, verse number 1. And modern scientific discoveries support the cosmological argument made up in the Bible. You get that? So no human being could have come up with this. Okay, teleological argument as well. Complexity and order in nature suggest intelligent design. So 19, verse number 1 through 6, okay, tells us of this. And the biblical account of creation aligns with the teleological principles. There are internal consistencies and all that. So let me end it up here with that of the biblical accuracy, the Bible being from God, and it being authentic, it being genuine, and all that. I believe in its apostolicity, its genuinity, and its inspiration. So for people to put that someone anonymously hit somewhere to stipulate or to put up stars so as to be able to deceive Africans, people has been making up King Leopold the second, and we all know for sure that the so-called slave Bible wasn't fancy the Bible we hold today. It was containing about 47 pages. I'll be getting, but the Bible we hold today has 66 independent books. I'll be getting it because King Leopold II told his compatriots, he told his comrades that they were getting into the Negroes, and they had to do some distortions in the Bible. They had to avoid some biblical passages where they would make the blacks or the Negroes know that indeed the Bible doesn't support slave trade or something like that. How we get to him. So the abolitionists actually discovered the entire Bible. That is when they were able to militate against slavery. So therefore, if anybody says that had it not been the what is it the had it not been the Portuguese, or you see the Portugals, the Europeans, had it not been their advent on the African peninsula, there wouldn't have been the introduction of Bible or something like that. No, that isn't true, because we're talking of North Africa, talking of Egypt. Egypt is Africa. What we get to me, and the biblical translation into Koine Greek was actually made in Africa. That was Egypt, and the biblical scholars were from Africa. That is Egypt. What we get to me, and I think you've been making several lot of references to the Ethiopian eunuch in accordance with Acts chapter 8, verse number 26 through 36. How we get to all these were from Africa. That is Ethiopia. Ethiopia overlaps Egypt. It's a country that overlaps Egypt. So, well, let's head on to the existence of God. Yes, it does make sense. I always say that the atheist has no. Let me put it this way: the atheist has no hope. How we get to me after the destruction of this universe. Yes, it isn't just the Bible that stipulates that there's going to be an end time, or the Creator is going to put an end to this universe. Actually, the scientific law stipulates that there's going to be a time our universe is going to drench into chaos. How we get to well. I'm not going to reference a teleological argument, all those stuff to prove that indeed God exists. But this is logical. Most of the time, scientists tell us that our universe is a closed system. Have you heard that before? They say our universe is a closed system. Have you heard that before? Okay, Brother Peter, I don't know if you are there. You see, they say our universe is a closed system. Okay, so referencing the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, the first law of thermodynamics talking of thermal, that is, what is heat, energy. Thermodynamics talking of the change in energy and all that. Exactly what thermodynamics is
Yeah, the law of
with energy.
thermodynamics.
Thermodynamics. You see, so
Yeah,
the first law of thermodynamics stipulates that energy cannot be created or destroyed in an
or
isolated system.
destroyed. Yeah,
That is it. So they say they want to tell us that um, I, the last time I was giving this example, like energy cannot be destroyed or created in isolated system, so it can change form, but rather it cannot be destroyed or created. They mean like if I may have some ball, okay, I'm holding a ball and I am standing over a ramp and I toss the ball over a ramp and the ball hit a wall. Okay, when I threw it over, when I rolled it over a ramp, that was kinetic energy, right? And when it hit the wall, that is potential energy. So they will tell you it just changed form, but it wasn't created or it wasn't destroyed. Okay, so they're telling us that our universe is a closed system. They want to tell us that no, nothing goes out of the universe, and nothing comes within. You get that? So this is the simple question sometimes I put. Okay, I have this scientist friend called Toby Anderson. He was saying that several lot of people have gone to space. Okay, astronauts has gone to space and they've traveled space and they never attained God there. They never saw God there. Therefore, God doesn't exist. So I was like, you tell us that the universe is closed. It's a closed system. Nothing goes out of the universe and nothing comes within the universe. We always tell you that God is in heaven and He isn't in this universe. He is outside this universe. He's outside this universe, peeping his eye into this universe, and he controls stars within this universe. You get that? So that's actually what I told him. And I was like, so if the universe is closed, okay, if it's a closed system and nothing goes out and nothing comes within, you tell me that the astronauts were able to go beyond the universe and they didn't ascertain God? What we get with me? They were just in this universe. They were just walking around the universe, walking within this, traveling here and there in this universe. They didn't go outside this universe because you tell us the universe is a closed system. Well, let's put that one aside. Okay, so the first law of thermodynamics actually stipulates. Okay, any physics student know that. I know, Brother Peter, you are a scientist. You know this. Okay, so the first law stipulates that our universe is someday going to be drenched into chaos. Chaosity awaits our universe. You get that? Heat is going to destroy our universe. There's going to be a time the universe, including everything, is going to be desolated. Okay, everything is going to be chaos. The sky we see, the stars we see, the galaxies, whatever, the earth, the works within the endeavors within the universe are going to drench into chaos, or they're going to be desolated. That's actually what the first law of thermodynamics tells us. How we get to me. So if the universe was eternal, as most scientists, most atheists tells us, if the universe was eternal, rather, would it be tantamount to destruction? Would it? If the universe was eternal, as they tell us, therefore, we should believe that the universe is eternal and there isn't any creator of the universe. That's exactly what most people tell us. If the universe was eternal at all, would it be tantamount to destruction? Since it's going to be destroyed, since it's time, since it's going to be drenched into chaos, it really means that the universe isn't eternal. The universe is a fine tune. The universe is an effect. Therefore, there must be the cause of the universe, and the cause of the universe must not be destroyed with the universe. Okay, he has to cause cessation to the universe or to the existence of the universe, and he himself must continue to exist because he has power over the universe. Therefore, when the universe is destroyed, the place where the creator or the maker, the fine tuner is well promised Christians. Therefore, Christians have that hope. And it does make sense that indeed there must be a creator of the universe. There must be an uncaused cause of the universe. I'll be get to me, bro. So that is it. And if you go to 2 Peter chapter 3, verse number 8, the Bible actually stipulates that there's going to be a time the universe is going to enter into chaos. So that if that information even aligns with the biblical message, you get that. So all these tells us that Christians has great hope. The atheist has greater hope that the universe is all there is to have. And after the universe, nothing else. Everything is going to be destroyed and they have no hope. Or we get to me. So people have been making this argument that, okay, fine. If you believe that there is no God and you die and you meet God coming to judge you, what are you going to do? And you see, people be like, okay, what if I die and go there and there's no God to judge me? I think it's 50-50, but then this isn't 50. I don't operate on that gambling, but I know for sure that indeed God exists, and yes, it does make sense that God exists. To say that the universe just created itself is monstrously unscientific and grossly nonsensical. But and also the second law of thermodynamics states that everything is winding down. The universe matter is winding down. You get that human beings are to winds down. Okay, we diminishes until we reach an extinction point. Therefore, human beings are not eternal. This guy actually went to Miami Grace TV. He's called Jesus Ali Immortal. And I've ever had a program on Lost in Media about this before I contacted Miami Grace to have a debate with this guy, Jesus Ali Immortal, but then it didn't come. You get that? So he said he was an immortal, he was not going to die, he was going to live forever, all that. What we get to, that's exactly what he stipulated on Miami Grace. You see, so since we fall sick, since we buy medicines and all that, it really tells us that we are not immortals, we are human beings and surely going to die. What we get, we surely going to die. Yes, and as far as we surely going to die, we have to just believe that it is the rest of human or the rest supernatural being. We have a maker or creator, how we get to it. That is so the second law is that everything is winding down. Matter is winding down. So matter was created or brought about by somebody. That is the uncaused cause of all creation or the beginner. Okay, so and also the what is it? The science of radioactivity states that the science of radioactivity states that anything that has a beginning point, anything material that has a beginning point must of necessity attain an ending point. You get that? So the universe, since it's going to be destroyed, since it's going to enter into chaos, it really means that it was begun by somebody. Someone began it. You get that? Therefore, that's the reason it's going to be destroyed. Someone began it. Therefore, he is the same person going to end it up. Therefore, this tells us there is God. Okay, my last argument. I said I'm not going to be stretching on much on this because you've already been making a lot of programs on social media about this. Okay, so my last point has to do with there is this logical argument called the metaphysical deduction. The metaphysical deduction. Actually, I had wanted to go to the what is it? I wanted to go to the ways via which we can arrive at knowledge. Legitimate means of arriving at knowledge. Legitimate means of arriving at knowledge. People might link up to empirical evidences and all that, but I actually do not want to go there right now, okay, due to our time. But rather, the metaphysical deduction actually comes out with this logical argument that if you go to if you go to the seashore, okay, if you go to the seashore and perhaps you come across some footprints within the sand, okay, the sand of the if you come across those footprints or you come across a shoe, okay, worn out and all that, but no, you saw no human being or no one there already. Okay, brother, could you ever that you were the only one existing on that land, or you were the only one, you are the only one that has ever visited that area? Could you ever make that statement? You couldn't, right? Yeah, that actually tells you that indeed someone already was there before you came. You get that our universe, and that is the reason. If you go to Psalm 19, the psalmist actually, so the psalmist, what is it, employs, uh, what, uh, what is it, uses common sense to tell us indeed there is a creator. He tells us that the universe was actually designed by somebody, the stars, the moon, the sky, all tells us that indeed there is a fine tuner. So, brother, it's very logical to believe that indeed there is God, okay? And whatever we see today, yeah, we're not there when God was creating the universe. And if anybody should ask this question, that what were you when God was creating the universe? If you were not there when God was creating the universe and believe that indeed God made the universe, your faith basis on something blind. You have a blind faith. Uh, I think I most of the times also tell all atheists that you don't even have a mother or a father. The reason I say this is we've only been introduced to some paper column. We were given some paper, and on this paper is written birth certificate. How we get to me? You have a mother's name written there, father's name written there, your name included. Well, you were not there when they were giving birth to you. You didn't see them giving birth to you. You didn't see your mother
Okay.
giving birth to you. You didn't seeing them. You get, yeah, you just believed that indeed, since you grew up seeing them, yes, they gave birth to you. You have no proof that they gave birth to you. You can give me an evidence. The evidence has to do with the paper column, that birth certificate you're gonna give me, but you were not there when they were giving birth to you. And Mr. Soul rest in peace, had, had a debate with Andrew Moshe, okay, and in their debate, and Mr. actually stipulated this question, and it was very logical question. He wanted to, he asked Abraham Moshe, Abraham, okay, you live in a family house, okay, fine, you've ever lived in a family house before. Well, how can you be able to justify the claim that that family house belongs to your ancestors? You were not there when they were building it. You came to meet it up. You get that? So you have no proof that indeed your ancestors, your great great grandfather or grandmother actually built it. How we get to me? So that is, we live by faith. Whatever we do, we live by faith. And the biblical faith we talk about, the pistis, pisteio, pisteia, as time goes on, maybe we'll talk about that. It based on prior knowledge. Prior knowledge. But the biblical faith isn't without epistemology. Yes, it isn't without knowledge, but rather it bases on prior knowledge. That is it. So I think there are a lot to say, but then I would say that we
Yeah.
will end it up. If there is
All
any
right.
question that's going to,
All
we
right. All
can
right.
actually come.
Yeah. 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 I think you've done a great job, and honestly, I like the way you are coming out with logics. When your mom gave birth to you, you weren't there, but they gave you
Yeah,
a date that you were
good.
born. It mean there. You,
You were not there.
you say somebody will say that is my mom. So definitely, whatever
Yeah,
you told me was true. But your mom is human being
yeah.
fallible. She can tell you lie.
That is it. That is, you see, and you see, that's why
You-
it's a reality, reality of life. You see, there are two types of sciences. Okay, there are two types of science. That is the historical science and the what is it? The observational science. You get that? The historical and the observational. You see, during this pandemic, okay, during the pandemic period, the protocols that were introduced were as a result of research. You get that? So scientists, physicians actually researched, and they ascertained that indeed, okay, a sickness of this type, of this kind.
I think you have a little problem with your internet right now, and we need to wrap things up. But our brother is almost done, and um, hello, can you hear me,
One
bro?
time or 1,000 years.
All right, so we still
So
we
paracetamols and all those stuff we sort of historical science. Okay, so historically, you believe that what you saw, what you read was true, and you apply it today. The same applies to
all
the
right.
universe. What we see today, we need to meet it up here. We're not there when the universe was being created. We're not there when the first human was being created. But then we came to meet human beings. Therefore, human being existed. First human existed. That's exactly what the Bible tells us. First human was created. First human was made. And through that first human, we all came about. You get that? So that makes sense. It's logical. It's logical. That is it. So
All right.
yes, it's got to begin from a place to a place. And that is why there is
All right.
the induct, what is it? The inductive logic and the deductive logic. You get that? So
Deductive
start from
logic.
somewhere
Okay.
to somewhere general to somewhere specific. It's logical.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 And people who do not really believe that the Bible was by inspiration and then God used some noblemen to write it because they were not there, they think that the Bible is a lie. Sometimes I do ask them questions that they do believe that their ancestors existed. Even sometimes we do hear their names, we don't even know their pictures. But because they
Yeah.
told us, yeah, whatever is spoken and is lie, obviously is seen that is lie. And whatever is
You
spoken that
see,
is true, obviously is true.
that is it, bro.
So,
Okay, let's do some small exercise here. Some 2 minutes. What's the color of what I'm wearing right now? My shirt.
yeah, you
What's
are
its
wearing a
color
red
right
and
now?
white. Let me say, yeah,
You
two
see,
colors, red and white.
okay, so red and white you're talking about here. If I'm to tell you, brother, prove to me that this is red and white. Can you prove it?
I should prove to you that yeah, you are watching on the you are on the live right now and you are wearing it. That's how I can prove it.
Yeah, I'm wearing it, but can you prove to me that this is red, this is white? Can you prove it?
How can I prove it when I only know the color is red and the color is white?
And it based on prior knowledge, right? It bases on
Yeah,
what you've been taught, exactly what we were told.
yeah,
But we were told in class that 1 + 1 = 2, right? But
yeah.
we didn't ask this question. One plus what? Okay, one plus what? One what plus one what gives you two. You
One plus
understand?
one is equal to
One
two. Yeah,
gives you. It's a statement. You see, and it
yeah,
isn't arguable. That's we've been told since time
yeah.
immemorial, and it's straight in our minds since childhood. So we think there is the errant argument, but I can argue with you that even 1 + 1 isn't one, isn't two. You get that? Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there are some scientific mathematical solutions that actually stipulate that 1 + 1 isn't
it's equal.
isn't two. You
Yeah,
get that? So I think they have the module blah, 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 blah. All these cannot be proved. Okay, we can just be giving evidences that indeed what I'm wearing is what spectacle. What is the reason that this is spectacle? What is the proof that it's a spectacle? How what brought what about that it's a spectacle? That's exactly what we've been told. The spectacle. You get it's
yeah,
this is black, this is
yeah,
white, this is red. You cannot prove them. You cannot prove that indeed they are
yeah,
black or they are white. The, for the atheists to prove their own existence, it's going to be a problem. You cannot prove your own existence.
yeah,
They're gonna just be giving me evidences. Okay, I am talking. I doubt. Therefore, I said no. You get that, brother? I can prove your existence. Okay, here you are.
yeah,
Here I am. You
yeah,
can prove my existence. Right? Prove your
yeah,
existence. You're gonna just be giving me evidences. You cannot prove that. You get that?
yeah,
So that is it. This applies to um, our belief in God, and it doesn't base on all these. It's a fact that any person in their right senses must believe. How we get to that's the exact reason.
yeah.
If you go to Psalm 14, it is stipulated there that the fool. Okay, I think there is this American word jerk. The jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the jerk
Yeah,
has there is no God. You get the jerk, which that is jerk. The jerk has said in his heart, there is no God. You get after all these, nothing happens by mere chance or by mere accident. We've never come across that in our universe before. Okay,
all
the
right.
evolutionary theory, all that of Charles Darwin, like we've never, as certain stuff like or seen things accidentally happening in our universe before. They do not
Mm-hmm.
happen. Eh, They do not happen. Yeah, and for people to introduce us to or direct us to some ape men and all that. Bro, can you believe I read the book, and in the book I came across the idea that these whites were just saying that it's the the blacks that were as a result of apes, and not the whites. Yeah, I read a book and I've forgotten the title of the book. Yeah, they were saying it's the blacks that were as a result of apes. Okay, and sometimes they give some scenario. I have this friend, Toby Ellison, he's a black American. He's in Florida, USA. He actually said that, Stephen, there is the human embryo. The human embryo was a tail, and it has been decreased to this extent. That's why we do not see it today. Human embryo was a tail. We were animals, and when we were transforming into human beings, they just they create how we get to it. So they cannot be seen any longer. That's exactly what he told me. But I think all these goes or militate against biblical information. All these militate against the Christian teaching or the Christian belief that there is God and there must be. So I think as a result of him,
All right.
everything came into being. Yeah.
Okay. 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 All right, bro. I think owing to the time, we are going to end it up here. But my too goes to the point when so many people really has not been able to have clear evidence to disprove something that they want to disprove. You got it.
Okay.
And logically,
Yeah.
sometimes the other time I said when anybody want to use common sense, he's referring to himself as a kid,
Mm.
because even
Okay. Yeah.
animals has common sense.
Come on,
Animals,
then. Good.
yes,
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
When an animal see that there is a fire, it won't go and step in
Yeah.
the fire. When an animal
Yeah.
see that there is a pit, it won't go and fall in the pit. It will just be passing by. So
Very good.
logically, even animals has common sense. You got
That
it.
is it.
Now you
That
see
is it.
the trees, and the root of the
Yeah.
trees beneath the ground. They will just be extending and be holding themselves. Common sense, so that they will all be standing strong. That's why it's not easy for them to be falling. So
Very
human
true.
being, we apply good common sense. Without God, your common sense is like animals and plants.
We belong to the animalia kingdom. That's what scientists tells us. We belong to the animalia kingdom. You get that? But God in the
Yeah,
Bible actually made us in accordance with His similitude and
yeah.
image. You get that? That's what makes us different from animals. You get that? Because we were made in accordance with the similitude and image of God. That's exactly what makes us different from animals.
All right.
Animals, when it comes to common sense, as you are referencing, yes, they have the sense of their sense. They have the human beings have that sense.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, bro. Okay, I'd rather be right back. I think the is giving a little problem. And thank you for what. In fact, we have the Bible. In fact, it is. There is no evidence to disprove the Bible. There is no evidence. If you think that you have something that you will use to disprove the Bible, you are only making a mistake. The Bible is from God. Yes. For our brother, for I'm giving our brother is not right. Logically, animals has common sense. Kwame Nkrumah wrote a book. Were you there? Book. You see, so we'll be debating and books from we but there are that exist. Indeed true. So if somebody want to disprove the Bible, then the person want to claim that the Bible is just a book out of people's imagination, of which that can never be true. Because whatever is in the Bible has evidence. Whatever the Bible do mention has evidence, and we cannot escape or we cannot run away from that. So my fellow common sense people, atheists, agnostics, skeptics, this trying that you run away from God. I know you are. Sometimes we do find it difficult to obey the word of God. Yes, because we have so many girlfriends, and the Bible says stop. So you have to disprove the Bible so that people you can have your freedom to do whatever you want. And then no, this wouldn't solve any problem. Brother Bache, I think because you had a problem with your internet, so you will not be able to come on board. God richly bless everyone who watched this program. We are ending it up here. We know that some people are yet to watch, and some people will be sharing the video. Please share this video. We need to conscientize people, because there are so many people who are Christians but have moved away from their Christendom and have joined these groups because they thought that they are telling the truth. Myself, I know of one person who has moved out from the Christendom and have joined this so-called common sense family. When they are even going down, I was like, I was like, wow, why should this happen? It means you have you are just allowing yourself to be deceived. No, brother, no, my sister. Everything that exists right now, there are identifications that shows that that thing is indeed true. That thing is indeed true. Don't let anybody deceive you. The other time somebody asked me, okay, if you are proving that the Bible is from God, what about the Quran? Your grandmother is talking and you want to go and ask your mother. Your grandmother has experience and is talking. You want to go and ask your mother. What does your mother know? We all know that when the Bible is from God, and our brother who is right offline right now has been disproving the Quran most of the time. The Bible is the only book that gives salvation. With good common sense, if you read the Bible, you apply logics, brother, you will definitely come under conclusion that indeed this book is from God. There are atheists who made names on this earth. They became very popular, wrote books, and those people, before they died, they confirmed that they were very sorry for trying to disprove the Bible, of which they have realized that what they did was wrong. I've been saying that sometimes some of us trying to disprove, we've not even written any books. We are not even popular in the whole world. We look, sometimes certain things are not necessary. Yes. So I will end it up here. God richly bless you, enlarge your territory, and then next week, we have our own brother, brother Paulofen, will be on the platform. He is coming to show that God is not a politician. Recently, there are certain things going on, especially in Africa. Some other pastors in the denominations and mingling with the politicians, and so he has some certain things to teach us. So he said he will be on the platform to help us. My name is Peter POLLEY, the host of this program. And I'm reminding all our brothers who are residing in Nzema, I'll be on ABM FM again on Thursday afternoon show, as I've been doing, 1 to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. God richly bless you. I love you all. And I say